Hey there! In this video, we are going to be looking at how to expand and simplify certain expressions. Now to do this, we are going to be using 3 example questions which are on your screen right now, okay? So feel free to pause the video now, write them down on a piece of paper, and try finding the correct answer before you look at how to find the correct answer, okay? And see if you will get the same answer. Now without further ado, welcome to Rise Up Namibia. My name is Metyanata, aka the resistor of bad and the lover of good, hashtag dark and lovely _ walk by faith and not by sight. So, example question number 1. Expand and simplify this expression. So what do you do when you're given something like this? Now before I explain this, I would like to show you guys something. Say for example you have 2 raised to the power 2. What is that equal to? It's equal to 4, isn't it? Now this simply means like the small 2, which we call an index or exponent, simply means that the bigger 2 which is down below is multiplied by itself 2 times. Okay? So if you type in your calculator 2 times 2, it will also give you 4. Now just to emphasize this point and to make sure that you understand it, look, if I have 5 raised to the power 3, the small 3 on top here simply means that the bigger 5 is multiplied by itself how many times? 3 times. Okay? So this small 3 just shows that 5 is multiplied by itself 3 times. So typing 5 times 5 times 5 in your calculator will also give you 125. Now when we look at our expression over here, it says this bracket raised to the power 2. So meaning these brackets are multiplied by itself how many times? 2 times. So you double the brackets. If it was a 3 here, you will triple the brackets. Okay? The same if it's a 4 here, you will make the brackets 4. Good. Now after you double your brackets, now you multiply the brackets out. So we start with this x and you say x multiplied by the other x in the other bracket will give you x squared. And then you go to the x again, you multiply it with the -8 to give you -8x. Now that you are done with this x, we go to -8 here. So we say -8 multiplied with x. What do you get? You get a -8x. Then again, -8 multiplied with a -8 on the other side will give you +64. Now this is not your final answer yet because you have like terms over here. Okay? So what is -8x minus 8? Be very careful with the signs here because it says -8 minus 8. So what will your answer be? Your answer will be -16x. Okay? And this is simply your final answer. Okay? Now let's just clean up here to do the second example. Now the second example has 2 terms in the first expression multiplied by 3 terms in the second expression in this bracket. Now what I like to do with this type of question is, to make it easier, I like taking the first 2 terms, and then multiply those 2 terms each in the 3 terms over here. How do I do that? I take the first term, which is 2x, and I multiply it with this bracket. Okay? Then I take the -5 on its own, and I also multiply it with this bracket. So let's start multiplying the first term, which is the 2x. What is 2x multiplied by x squared? That will give you 2x cubed. What is 2x multiplied by -5? That will give you -10x squared, okay? What is 2 multiplied by 4? Or 2x multiplied by 4 will give you +8x, okay? Now when you go to the second term, which is this -5, multiplying it into this bracket, what you do is when we start -5 multiplied by x squared, it's like term. Don't put it next to the rest here. It will give us a long line of terms which will be hard or hectic to find like terms. So what do? when you multiply negative 5 multiplied by x squared, you get a negative 5x squared, isn't it? Now that answer, you already align it under its like term. So where is its like term? Its like term is here. So we put it underneath the 10x squared because it's also a negative 5x squared. Okay? Now we go to the following one. Negative 5 multiplied by negative 5x will give you positive 25x. Now the fact that it's giving you positive 25x, you also align it under its like term, which is the 8x. Okay? Then we say negative 5 multiplied by 4, that will give us negative 20. Okay? Now, after that, you draw your line and then you add. Let's start here. 2x to the power 3 does not have a like term, so we just bring it down the same way it is. But when we look at negative 10x squared, it has a like term, so we say negative 10x squared plus negative 5x squared. So what is the answer? Don't get confused because of the signs. It's negative 10x squared plus negative 5x squared. That will give us 15x squared. Now, 8x plus 25x will give us 33x. Okay? When we come to the negative 20, it doesn't have a like term, so we just bring it down the same way it is. And that is basically your final answer. Okay? Now, before we look at the final example, how are you finding the video so far? Is it helpful? If yes, please do give us a huge thumbs up, okay? And we are on our way to 1,000 subscribers, so if you are not subscribed yet, we will appreciate if you would hit the subscribe button with notifications on. Okay? Back to the lesson. Now the third example has 3 terms in both brackets. So what do? We take each and every term in the first bracket and multiply it in the second bracket, sorry. Okay? So let's start. X squared multiplied by everything in the second bracket. So what is x squared multiplied by 6x squared? That will give us 6x raised to the power 4. What is x squared multiplied by negative 3x? That will give us negative 3x cubed. And then x squared multiplied by 1 will give us what? That will just be x squared. Okay? Now we move on to the second term, which is negative 2x. Now negative 2x multiplied by this bracket will give us what? Negative 2x multiplied by 6x squared will give us negative 12x cubed. Remember I told you once you get your answer, you always align it with their what? With their like terms. Why? Because we don't want to just put it next to this term. For example, here we have 3 terms in both brackets. So imagine how many terms we will get if we were just to put them next to each other. We might be getting a lot of terms which will be hectic to find the like terms. Okay? So negative x multiplied by negative 3x will give you what? Positive 6x squared. And then you say again negative x multiplied by 1. Negative 2x multiplied by 1 will give you negative 2x. Okay? From there we go to the third term, which is the positive 5. And then we multiply it with everything in this bracket. So 5 multiplied by 6x squared will give us 30x squared. Now because it's x squared, we align it under its like terms. And then 5 multiplied by negative 3x will give us negative 15x. We also align it with its like term. And then 5 multiplied by 1 will give us a positive 5. So positive 5 doesn't have like terms, so we just place it here. We draw our line and we bring out our addition sign. So adding, we start with a 6x raised to the power 4. It doesn't have a like term, so we just bring it down here. Negative 3 plus negative 12 gives us what? Negative 15x cubed. Okay? Then we come to the x squared. X squared plus 6x squared plus 30x squared. What's the answer? The answer will be 37 x squared. Okay? And then we come to negative 2x plus negative 15x. What's the answer? That will give us 17x. And the 5 doesn't have a like term, so meaning it just comes down the way it is. And that's basically your final answer. Okay? So thank you very much for watching this video. Please do like, subscribe, turn on the notification button to be the first to see the next upload. Share with friends, family, and classmates. And remember, together we rise to higher heights, apart we all stay behind. Cheers.